99% of guys think a hollow plastic stock is an upgrade just because some catalog slapped the word tactical on the box. And honestly, it is costing them serious accuracy out in the field. Look, I know exactly what the industry is pushing right now. They want to convince you that if your hunting rig does not look like a modern military platform, it belongs in a museum. But let us be real. When you are deep in the timber, fighting the elements and trying to manage the violent recoil of a Magnum spring, that cheap polymer chassis is going to flex, vibrate, and absolutely let you down. You think classic wood sporters are just heavy, outdated relics? You are dead wrong. A solid piece of dense European walnut is the ultimate cheat code. It naturally deadens vibration, shifts the balance point perfectly into your shoulder, and turns a decent gun into a genuine tack driver. We are cutting through the marketing fluff right now. These are the 7 classic wood sporter air rifles that are still completely dominating the field in 2026. Kicking things off at number 7 is the grandfather of the adult Magnum market, the Weihrauch HW80SL. This German powerhouse literally invented the concept of a full-sized, high-power hunting spring piston rifle, pushing .22 caliber lead down range at serious speeds. It was built specifically for the wide-open American market, where power restrictions do not exist. Let us talk about what makes this beast tick. It utilizes a massive 30mm internal compression tube to generate a massive swept volume. This means the heavy internal piston can transfer physical energy to the pellet far more efficiently than smaller tubes. You get devastating kinetic energy for dispatching small game without relying on high-pressure air tanks. Pair this flat trajectory with a premium traditional daytime optic like the Night Force NX 6.4 to 24x50, and you have a hunting rig that will absolutely outlast you. We are keeping it classic here, so leave the thermal gear at home. But here is the truth. It takes a heavy physical toll on the shooter. Carrying this massive wood and steel rig through the timber all day is a serious workout, tipping the scales at nearly 9.7 pounds when fully scoped. The sheer weight and bulky foreign make it a chore to lug around without a thick sling. The cocking effort required to prime that massive mainspring will definitely wear your arm out if you are just sitting at a bench. When you do line up a shot, the sensory experience is incredibly raw. The legendary record trigger snaps like a fragile icicle under pressure. Follow through, and the firing cycle sounds like a heavy oak door slamming shut. The sheer physical mass of the wood stock naturally deadens that harsh two-way recoil, keeping the muzzle flat and your target squarely in the crosshairs. I know the traditional firearm guys will doubt this, but this rig can hold its own against any powder burner on the market. Stepping into the modern pre-charged pneumatic game, we have the BSA R12 CLX Pro. Under the hood, it utilizes a completely redesigned monoblock chassis. Instead of bolting different modules together with a mess of air transfer ports and O-rings, BSA machined the central receiver out of one solid block of metal. This drastically reduces the chance of slow air leaks and keeps the internal high-performance regulator functioning perfectly. It delivers a precise blast of air to ensure you get zero vertical stringing when taking long shots out to 100 yards. Squeeze that 3-way adjustable match trigger, and it snaps like a thin pane of winter frost. The firing cycle is heavily muffled by the factory shroud system. It gives you a sound that resembles a thick phone book dropping onto a heavy carpet. Throws 22 caliber pellets downrange with incredible accuracy thanks to that cold hammer forged barrel. The damage to your wallet is a serious reality check though. Dropping over 1,600 on the rifle is just the starting point. Those brand new 12-shot rotary magazines are entirely proprietary to this specific platform. Stocking your hunting vest with extra mags will drain your bank account faster than you can empty that massive air cylinder. Still, resting that gorgeous Italian-made Manelli thumb-hole wood stock on a bipod feels incredible. Wrapped around a 480 ccs carbon fiber buddy bottle, it provides an insanely stable shooting platform. Sitting in a blind, waiting to neutralize groundhogs, has never looked this refined. Moving on to number 5, we have the Diana 54 Airking Pro. This heavy-duty rig is perfect for static bench shooting, but wait until we get to the absolute mechanical masterpiece sitting at number 1. You will not believe what it can do. Spits 22 caliber lead with absolute authority, generating over 23 foot-pounds of energy. The side lever action primes a massive mainspring, while a ratcheting safety system keeps your fingers safely attached to your hand. Wrapped in a massive classic beechwood stock, it is built like an absolute tank for serious pest control. It utilizes a patented recoil sledge system that completely isolates the shooter from the violent mechanical movement. When the sear drops, the entire steel action slides backward on rails hidden inside the wood stock for about 3/4 of an inch. This means the pellet completely exits the barrel before you feel a single ounce of kick, eliminating the hold sensitivity that plagues other Magnum springers. The fully adjustable T06 match trigger breaks like a dry, brittle twig, snapping under a heavy boot. When it fires, the sound is a distinct mechanical clack that echoes like a heavy steel vault locking shut. The catch: this rifle is an absolute scope killer because the sledge mechanism allows the heavy steel action to slam back and forth freely on those rails. The intense two-way recoil is completely transferred into whatever optic you have mounted. If you throw a cheap, unrated piece of glass on that top rail, the internal lenses will shatter into dust within 50 shots. You must invest in a heavily reinforced airgun rated optic, or you will be shooting blind. Stepping into the serious hunting rigs, we have the Daystate Huntsman Revere. Pushes 22 caliber pellets downrange with absolutely surgical precision. Wrapped in a stunning double-oiled Italian walnut stock from the Manelli factory, it handles like a classic lightweight carbine. Tipping the scales at just over 6 pounds, the balanced profile points incredibly fast when you're stalking through heavy brush. It utilizes a patented Harper slingshot hammer system paired with an internal Huma air regulator. Instead of the hammer bouncing on the main valve and wasting precious high-pressure air after the initial shot, the slingshot mechanism strikes once and retracts instantly. This guarantees extreme air efficiency, giving you up to 39 incredibly consistent shots at 30 foot-pounds of energy without a single drop in velocity. Pulling the finely tuned match trigger feels like snapping a perfectly crisp vanilla wafer. Downrange, the firing cycle is completely subdued by the shrouded barrel. It sounds like a muffled heavy stapler punching through thick cardboard, keeping you completely concealed from your targets while you dispatch pests. The caveat here is the incredibly delicate exterior build. Because the air reservoir is polished blued steel rather than a rugged carbon fiber bottle, it is extremely prone to rusting if you take it out in the morning dew and forget to wipe it down with oil. Sweating the details on maintenance is mandatory, and dragging that museum-quality Italian walnut through thorny briars will leave permanent, heartbreaking scratches. Entering the elite tier, we are looking at the Air Arms S510 Ultimate Sporter R. Spits 22 caliber lead downrange with unbelievable consistency. This British masterpiece bridges the gap between a classic wood hunting rig and a highly adjustable competition target chassis. The massive walnut stock is a functional piece of art that feels incredibly solid when you settle in behind the glass. It utilizes a fully shrouded barrel with integrated internal baffles that strip the turbulent high-pressure air away from the pellet exactly as it exits the muzzle. This stops the air blast from destabilizing the projectile in flight, ensuring absolute precision while keeping the entire system mouse fart quiet for stealthy pest control. Rolling onto that two-stage match trigger feels like snapping a brittle piece of chalk in half. Squeeze it, and the firing cycle is entirely deadened by the factory suppressor system. It sounds exactly like a heavy textbook dropping flat onto a thick mattress. The caveat here is the sheer bulk and awkward balance when you are shooting offhand. All those thick steel adjustment mechanisms embedded in the rear of that gorgeous walnut stock make the rifle incredibly back-heavy. If you are trying to track a fast-moving target through the timber without a bipod, that rearward weight bias makes the muzzle feel totally floaty and frustrating to lock down. Closer to the crown, we have the legendary Weihrauch HW97K. Throws 177 caliber pellets downrange with absolutely surgical precision. This German-engineered underlever is a total powerhouse built for guys who demand rugged reliability in the field without sacrificing a single ounce of target-grade accuracy. It utilizes a fixed barrel underlever architecture that completely separates the cocking mechanism from the barrel itself. By keeping the cold hammer forged barrel rigidly locked into the main steel action, it maintains permanent coaxial alignment with your optic. You never have to worry about the microscopic zero shifts that plague traditional break barrel designs after thousands of opening and closing cycles. Easing onto the legendary record trigger feels like snapping a crisp piece of raw celery. Send the shot, and the firing cycle is a lightning-fast mechanical thud. It sounds exactly like a heavy rubber mallet striking a solid oak workbench, delivering that kinetic energy straight to the target to dispatch pests instantly. Honestly, the factory shot cycle can be a little harsh and twangy right out of the box. While the base street price is pretty reasonable, the real damage to your wallet happens when you start chasing absolute perfection. To get that dead flat, vibration-free performance the pros talk about, you will inevitably drop serious cash on aftermarket drop in tuning kits, custom spring guides, and upgraded top hats to finally reach its true potential. We have looked at some incredible engineering today. We have seen rigs that offer massive power, laser precision, and absolute dependability out in the field. But when you are looking for the absolute pinnacle of spring piston performance, there is only one undisputed king. Coming in at number 1, the absolute crown jewel of the sporter world, the Air Arms TX200. It utilizes synthetic bearing rings, often called Delrin rings, machined directly onto the piston and the internal compression tube. This brilliant design completely eliminates the harsh metal-on-metal friction during both the cocking stroke and the violent release of the mainspring. By isolating those moving internal parts, it dramatically reduces the resonant vibration and mechanical drag that ruins the accuracy of lesser rifles. Easing through that computer-designed match trigger feels like snapping a perfectly dry pine needle in half. Send the shot, and the firing cycle is a ridiculously fast, dead thud. It sounds exactly like a heavy leather sandbag, dropping flat onto a solid hardwood floor. The gorgeous walnut sporter stock completely shifts the balance rearward, making it handle like an absolute dream when taking off hand shots in the timber. Pushes 22 caliber lead with such silky, smooth consistency that it puts the rest of the market on notice. Out of the box, it gives you the legendary underlever precision of the Weihrauch HW97K, but without needing a single expensive aftermarket tuning kit to reach absolute perfection. Furthermore, it delivers the devastating downrange accuracy of the Diana 54 Airking Pro, but completely ditches that fragile, optic-destroying sledge mechanism for a reliable, rock-solid fixed barrel system that will outlast your grandchildren. This is the ultimate woodstock air rifle, period. These 7 rigs prove that true craftsmanship never goes out of style. While the rest of the market is chasing cheap plastic trends, pulling a solid piece of European walnut tight into your shoulder is still the ultimate power move for pulling extreme accuracy out of an air gun. Sound off down below and let me know which of these classic powerhouses you would trust on your next trip into the timber. Do the work, get the gear, own the range.